The Twisted Tea Modified Series hits the LoanMart Madera Speedway today for round number 1 of the 6-race series in 2015. Hello everyone, welcome to Madera, California. I'm Kenny Shepard alongside Outback Andy Foster.
Hey Kenny, I'm really excited to be here for year 2 of these Twisted Tea Modifieds. We've got drivers this afternoon all the way from Southern California and LA, all the way up to the northern part of California and Sacramento. It's going to be a great race with these cars today.
Well, and I think the key is we've got really big horsepower cars, a smaller tire, Andy, so it's going to be critical. It's really a driver's class where talent can come to the forefront.
And managing these cars during this race is going to be the tires. Getting that tire management is going to be very critical.
And we saw that in year 1, the guys that could manage their tires best. This is a split 35 format for a total of 70 laps, but there's about an hour break in between where they can tune anything they want. It's going to be interesting.
Here we go, race fans, from Madera, California. On row 1 in the 80 car, it is Ty Carlson. On the outside of Ty Carlson, in the 25A, Aaron Kuhnfeld.
And in row number 2, we have Elliot Stayani, and the outside of row 2, the 13 of Ryan Mock.
Move through to row 3. On the inside, the very experienced Scott Alves, and on the outside, the real deal, Terry Deal.
Row 4 is Blaine Perkins. On the outside of Blaine is the 51A of Chris Price.
Move through to row 5 now. It is the 0 car of PJ Pedricelli. And on the outside of him, the 55, Dave Campbell.
And in row 6, we have Robbie Knettel. And on the outside of Robbie is the 33 of Brandon Jones.
Making up row 7 will be the 46 of Michael Ray and the 78 of Kevin Nichols. Frank McVie now giving the starters the signal. One more lap of this 1/3 mile racetrack, and we're going to turn these cars loose for 70 laps of awesome modified racing, brought to you by Twisted Tea. Leading to the green, it is Carlson and Kuhnfeld. Kuhnfeld running the high line. That was a pretty good start down there on the racetrack for these modifieds.
Absolutely, and look at Scott Alves. I mean, the experience, you'll really see the steering wheel work, how hard it is to drive these high horsepower little tire cars.
Yeah, got some action back in the pack too. It looks like Campbell and Price also going hard at it, and Ryan Mock, that awesome car. Let's hope that Ryan Mock can get that car to handle. He was out here a couple of weeks ago practicing, and that thing was plowing like a bulldozer. So hopefully he has got that car to handle.
And he's trying to fight off Blaine Perkins in that beautifully prepared Southern California 55 car. Here we go. Look at Alves on the outside. He's already moving forward. This car looks strong already.
Yeah, certainly is a very experienced modified driver, so he knows how to get it done. Although, coming out of the turn that time, that car looked like it was very, very twitchy. Of course, cold tires, and we've got trouble down in turn 1. Ooh. Looks like the 51 of Price has turned it around.
And did you see who barely missed him? The 03. The 03 of Robbie Knettel.
Of course, those cars had some action during practice today. They actually did a lot of damage to both of those cars. There's been a lot of work by the crew in the pit area to rebuild those cars.
Yeah, and the 51 actually doesn't look that bad, and it's amazing that it was almost those two cars again. The 51 looks to be struggling at this point. Here we go, Andy. We're ready to go for another green. It didn't take this crew long to get the track cleaned up and rolling again.
Very fast safety crew at LoanMart Madera Speedway, where we run the fastest racing program every Saturday night in the West. Again, banging wheels off the start. There's some great action. Kuhnfeld going at it with Stayani.
And Elliot Stayani making a big run on the inside. Scott Alves with experience in the back, who were just sitting right. Well, he's not too patient. Alves putting the bumper to Stayani, saying, let's go. So you can see back on board with Scott Alves again. He's got a handful of steering wheel. I mean, that thing's not behaving as he would probably like.
Just waiting for the temperature to come up on these tires to really get some heat into these tires. So like you say, big horsepower on cold tires. These things will be a handful out there.
Well, look at that carburetor sticking out of that big V8 right there in front of Scott. And again, good battle for the lead. It's Kuhnfeld again. Stayani's smooth right with him, and Alves just sitting back there. Kind of get the feeling with his experience, his quality laps here, he's where he wants to be.
It looks like that Southern Californian car with Perkins too having a good battle with one of our cars, and that is Carlson.
And he's working his way forward. Looks like he's, in the 5th position at this time. Might be a little smoke off the Carlson car, maybe just a little glare. But Perkins looks very smooth, really, really hooked up. Good battle up front.
Carson has fallen back a little bit from the start on the front row, and he's really under pressure from Perkins to stay in that top 5.
Back started on the pole, Andy. Started on the pole, and he's fallen back to 4th, fighting 5th off, it looks like.
Look at Coonfield sliding that modified out of turn 4. It looks like we got a yellow on the racetrack. Something's gone on, and it is Robbie Kniddle. Okay, so the 2 restarts we've had is Kniddle this time. And we had Price before, like the cars that were involved in
both cars involved in the
accident.
practice, and as you've done a couple of interviews with the guys, and you know how hard they were working, and just to get their cars running again, barely made the show, but championship points are everything. Back on board with Scott Alves for another restart here, Andy. Here we go.
Stayuani leads him to the green with Coonfield going upstairs for the restart this time. The drivers get to choose the outside or the inside, so Coonfield likes that outside, and the battle between Perkins, Carlson. That is a good battle back further. They're right on the rear bumper bar of that Alves Ranch car of Scott Alves.
Well, it looks like Perkins has now moved into, or trying to move into the 4th position. Door to door again. Stayani's running really well on the bottom. The preferred line recently, or coming off the winter, has been a little bit more to the high side at Madera, but Stayani's doing a great job.
Trouble down here. We've got a wheel come loose on one of these cars up in turn 3. Bang into the wall, and that will go back onto the infield.
Well, and that's big trouble. Was that left rear or right rear? We can see from Alves' car coming by. Yeah, right rear. You see the right rear there. Again, right rear. Well, that's from Ryan Mock's car. Looks like he's going to give us a little view of it. Yes, absolutely. Right rear laying on the ground. Lap 10, and we've had 3 cautions already, Andy. They're having a little trouble getting this one going.
Probably lucky that wheel came off entering the turn, not
where it
inside
did.
the turn.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, he could have had that car upside down very, very easily if it happened mid-turn. We're back with the restart, and it is Coonfield on the outside, and it'll be Stayani on the inside. Row 2 will be Alves.
Yeah, and it looks like Perkins was, actually the 80 was able to hold Perkins off for that 4th place position, so that's a good battle for 4th.
Carlson holding tough in 4th.
Let's see what Stayani can do on this restart, see if he can actually do something with him this time.
Ryan Mock trying to run around the outside of Dave Campbell. We are side-by-side modified action at LoanMart Madera Speedway, and it's still Coonfield and Stayani.
Yeah, Coonfield had a great jump that time. It looks like he's driving a little deeper in on the top. Scott's got a handful of steering wheel. I mean, that thing is just, maybe that's how they just look all the time. We're not used to that view from inside, but he is really working that steering wheel.
I think Scotty would prefer to get that car off the curb line a little bit and bring the car up, but he's trying to see if Stayani goes through. He wants to follow Stayani through and keep Coonfield up high and try and freight turn him through. But that battle is raging right behind him. He's got trouble because Robbie Kniddle has stopped.
In trouble again. It looked like I think it was the 25 car that was charging into 4th at that particular time. So that 4th, 5th, 6th position is really being contested at this point.
Getting ready for the restart out of turn 4. Coonfield will bring him to the green again and Stayani with Alves and Tyson. That's the first 2 rows. Tyson trying to hang tough, and then the real deal, Terry Deal, is on a move. Can you look at this? Terry Deal is certainly moving through in that number 12 car. And we got the 255s also out there on the racetrack racing close together as well. Campbell and the 55 of Perkins.
Now that time it looked like Elliott Stayani had a little bit of advantage over Coonfield. They are really putting a show on up front. Look at this, door to door. Good racing.
Yeah, Stayuani really hanging tough right now with Coonfield. Alves has dropped that from these 2 cars for momentarily, although now Stayuani gets the lead clear from Coonfield. Coonfield gave it up, and he'll come back on the outside. Let's see how this plays out as they get out of the turn. Stayuani hanging tough. What's some great in-car footage. I think that's Ryan Mock's car.
Well, and I think what we've got with our cameramen, we've got racing from the front to the rear. Look at the battle up front. We've got racing for 4th. Look like Campbell just charged into 5th. In the 55 car, they're racing all the way back. So there's racing action. Look, they're 2 wide just behind them. Looks like Coonfield's car is falling off a little bit to me, or the bottom line might just be the better line right now.
Yeah, I thought it would, maybe when the rubber comes in up high, it might be a little better up there. But Stayuani pushes Coonfield up that time. Yeah, so
Coonfield's very loose, very loose. We got racing clear back here. Looks like Ryan Mock is getting a little pressure from behind him. Now we've got Scott Alves is coming through, so it definitely looks like the 25 car of Coonfield's falling off.
Alves now moves that car into second, the number 20, the Placerville driver, and the 12 car, real deal, Terry Deal.
Yeah, I called it the 25 a little earlier, but it's the 12 charging in. and that's a Superman car, Man of Steel car, beautifully wrapped car, great graphics. Looks like Ryan Mock, he had mentioned to you he's having trouble getting the handle on this brand new left-hander. Looks like he's got a handful of steering wheel right now.
Yeah, I noticed the 46 and Mason going through. Bang, crash, and we're
whoa,
into the
whoa, big damage. Brand new race car for Ryan Mock. Oh,
yep.
no.
That new left-hander is into the K-rail.
Ooh, looks like Ryan's not happy. Here we are, instant replay. Let's see what took place here. Down the back, that's down the front straightaway. A lap before. Looks like the 46 car of Ray, that is working on Ryan. He's got a handful of steering wheel there.
Ryan was very loose coming out of those turns as well. Here we go, down into 3 and 4. Let's see how this plays out. Maze to the inside. You're going to get a good look at this, Kenny, because a great in-car camera here.
Slow motion. Look at Ryan's hands going right. He's loose. Looks like left front touches. Yeah, they
helmet
kind of
forward. That's a hit there.
Yeah, big hit. So it looked like Ryan possibly came down a little bit. Maybe the inside car coming up and just ran out of racetrack. But it looked like Ryan had a big handful of steering wheel from that angle and definitely got loose. He was turning to the right. We'll see if we've got another camera angle here. I hear on the radio the guys are calling. They've got another camera angle. Let's see if we can see that here.
And Ryan just slides it into the inside K-rail to park it. He's not happy at all.
No, he's not happy. Not happy. We've, as a race car driver, I've been there. You as an announcer, you've seen this many times. And yeah, Ryan's not happy whatsoever. That's a brand new race car. A lot of work went into that race car. Here's another angle.
Oh, here we go. Right out of turn 4. Unfortunately, Ryan got loose coming out of 4. And actually just drove into the 46 and made.
Great work by our camera guys. Looks like our staff's getting the place cleaned up and lined up again. That's taking a little extra time. What they're doing now, it looks like, from what we hear on the radio, they're going to take Ryan to the pit area, which they generally do, to try and give the guys more time to get ready for the second half.
Hopefully he can get that CESS car back out on the racetrack for the second half of this event.
Yeah, and I think I heard, isn't that a car that Mike David helped him put together? Brand new left-hander. So what a shame to tear it up. Yeah. Absolutely. Here we go again, Andy. They're lined up and going. The 55's coming through now. Campbell.
Yep, Campbell, and of course the car we're riding along with is the blue 55, that is Perkins. So the black 55 is Campbell, the blue 55 Perkins, and he has dropped back. So he was kind of up there a little bit, and he's dropped back, but
boy,
now
look at
Scott
the shot. Scott got on the outside, just drove by.
A slingshot out of Twisted T10 that time, and Scott Alves gets to the lead. His car looks a little better now he's moved up the track.
Absolutely. Yeah, clear pasture. That's a great view as a driver when there's, well, he's pushing a little bit right there. You can see a lot of left-hand input in the steering wheel. Running good there, though. But, that's a good view. Look at that. He's already stretching out. So he looks to be one of the dominant cars right now.
And how about that car 12, the real deal, Terry Deal? He is the real deal right now because he's on the move and up to 3rd place. And I think that's his teammate that was right behind him, the 55. And Campbell is right behind him. That's the black 55.
Now we're on board with the blue 55 of Perkins. It looks like he's fallen off a little bit, Andy. He was up there fighting for 4th, and he's fallen back now.
Yeah, he sure was. But more importantly, how about that 25 of Aaron Kuhnfeld? He started up front and was running up front for a while, and he has really fallen back. Now the Price car is in front of him, and that 55, and Perkins is right behind him. So a couple of cars that have been up the front have fallen back so far in this race.
You kind of wonder what's going on. Is it, tires going away? Or they, the 25 of Kuhnfeld was really loose. He was fighting for the lead, but both he and the Perkins car have fallen back. Now Scott Elves looks very strong.
Yeah, Scott Elves has gone out to probably about a 5-car lead here. So this is all good for the Placerville racer. Let's see as we come out of this turn again, what's happening out of turn 4. Down the back there, it's Kuhnfeld really sliding that car around. That car is very, very loose. Yeah. And also behind him, I believe that is Carlson as well. So the two guys that started up the front, Kuhnfeld and Carlson, find themselves quite a way down the back.
Yeah, hanging out in the back side of the top 10 right now. And I mean, that Kuhnfeld, look at the angle there. Kuhnfeld's car is really loose. Now the Perkins car looks pretty solid. Look at Kuhnfeld's car, a little push going across track, loose coming off. You might want to take care of those tires for the second half, or it's going to be a rough night for him.
Sure will be. Kuhnfeld, you've got a battle here too. Price now has got past Campbell. So Price is on the move as well. And that's one of the cars that got heavy damage early in the day.
Looks like he's all the way up to 4th. He had turned himself around, or got turned around about 4 or 5 laps into the race. Looked like it was going to be a long night. Now he's kind of smoothed things out. Looks like the car's coming around. 0-3. I mean, I feel so bad for him. Got involved in that accident. Now he's a lap down. And but the key is there is a lucky dog, so he's got to be the first car a lap down. So he's still got to get up on that wheel and hustle.
So now this completes the end of the first 35-lap segment with the blue and white checker flag for autism. It is Scott Alves leading right now from Elliot Stiani, Terry Deal, Chris Price, Aaron Coonfield, Blaine Perkins, Ty Carson, Dave Campbell, PJ Perticelli, and Kevin Nichols.